Set in some of the most beautiful countryside in the world, the Seven Stars Railway showcases the best in Japanese hospitality as you relax in comfort while the world drifts away. So sit back and relax while I'll explore the railway's history and what it's like to be aboard this very exclusive train. The Seven Stars Railway is owned and operated by the Kyushu Railway Company. The 7-carriage train was specially designed to honour the 7 prefectures of Kyushu Island and its 7 major attractions, that being nature, food, culture, hot springs, history, power spots to refresh the mind, body and soul, and trains, and can carry just 28 passengers either on a 2 or a 4-day excursion. This exclusive train was the brainchild of E.G. Mitsuka. E.G. wanted a train to rival those of the Orient Express and the Blue Train and knew there was a market for luxury. But rather going for quantity, E.G. focused on exclusivity and one-on-one personal attention. In Japanese culture, the sense of omotenshi, which means wholeheartedly looking after guests, was extremely important. E.G. wanted omotenshi to be at the very core of the train, so settled on entertaining a few select guests. To pull this train, E.G. instructed Kawasaki to build a locomotive for its exclusive use. The locomotive was the diesel-electric DF200, normally used for pulling freight. It was a very new design, being designed in 2009 with only 50 being built. The locomotive was painted and modified especially for the service, and its livery matched perfectly with its 7 carriages. Each of the carriages are painted in a wine red livery, symbolising wealth and history, and the windows are embellished carrot gold with the names of each prefecture of the island surrounding them. The journey starts before you even get on board. At the new Hataka station, passengers are taken to an exclusive lounge as their luggage is loaded on by porters. In the lounge, the hustle and bustle of the station is left behind as you are serenaded by violins and pianos. Passengers are offered complimentary aperitifs of sparkling sake as they wait to board. Once all is arranged, the train manager would greet the guests as they were called on. Once aboard, passengers have the option of heading straight to one of the 12 cabins stretched across 5 of the carriages, or the 2 public carriages called Blue Moon and Jupiter. The cabins have everything the passengers need, including twin sofa beds, an ample desk, and stunning panoramic windows. While the train boasted luxury, it didn't forget the tradition or its locals. The private ensuite featured porcelain that was handmade, painted and fired from a local village on the island. The windows are fitted with delicate bamboo screens and the ensuite walls are lined with Japanese cypress wood. The cabins are a splendid mix of the modern intermingled with 1930s Pullman Art Deco. The cabins get progressively larger as you move down the train, with the last 2 cabins being the largest at 226 square feet and able to sleep 3 passengers. The very last cabin boasts the best view, with the entire back of the train, a huge panoramic window and a private balcony. Once settled, the passengers would be called to the dining car. Passengers would pass hand-carved wooden screens as they were seated. The dress code on board is very strict and a bow tie affair. The 7-course dinner would be the finest Japan would offer, with traditional wines and sake from the area. The meal would be accompanied with live elegant music from the pianist, with a mix from local musicians. Etiquette is most important here, and I would recommend to do your research before travelling. For example, informal occasions, like a dinner, it is considered very rude to cross your legs. You must say thank you before and after your meal, and whatever happens, no matter how much you enjoy the food, you must never, ever leave a tip. Leaving a tip of money, even in good faith, is considered extremely rude. It is acceptable, however, to bring a gift to the hosts, usually from your own country, and you can present it before you travel. The giving and exchanging of gifts is considered very respectable in Japanese culture, and thankfully for those who worry about chopsticks, the service also offers silverware. While the guests are being wined and entertained, the staff convert the sofa beds into their beds and get the bedding made up and ready. Guests retiring will also find complimentary pyjamas laid out for them ready to use, as well as a face and body cloth. For those not wishing to retire yet, they are invited to the Blue Moon Lounge and observation deck. The lounge is the perfect place to mingle while enjoying a full bar full of cocktails made to your liking. Breakfast and lunch on board are more traditional and served in the bento style. The meals showcase the more familiar foods you would expect. For example, miso soup, tofu, cuts of salmon, rolled omelette, rice and mackerel, made into bite-sized pieces. The train makes several stops along its excursions, allowing passengers to see the sights of the island. Among the stops is the visit to the Pottery Factory, where all the train's ceramics are made and painted. The stop offers the guests a look behind the scenes on how the pottery was made. Untitled Pottery Village, deep within the Etiquette Mountains, are both rich in history and in nature. The workers use wooden clay crushers to take the clay from the mountains with little damage. The clay is delicately but skillfully formed into stunning works of art that even royalty bartered for. Passengers also have the chance to stay at a ryokan overnight. Ryokans are country inns which are situated near the hot springs. Once again, I would recommend researching local etiquette. Upon entering, passengers must remove their shoes before standing on the elevated areas, and it is good manners to point them towards the door. Tea will be provided, and you will have a personal one-on-one service. Guests will sleep on traditional futons, which are prepared by the staff. Traditional Japanese yukatas or casual dress robes are provided, and many will wear them throughout the stay. Baths are designated by either men's, women's, mixed or private. And the easiest way to tell the difference is to check the cloths hanging above the doors to the bath. Men's are usually blue and the red is the ladies', but be aware the staff do change these around during the day. At the bath, passengers are given 2 towels, one smaller used in the bathing area, while the larger one is left in the changing area. The baths are, well, essentially baths, so if you're uncomfortable with either being naked around others or seeing others naked, it might be better pre-booking a private bath, if you get my drift. Dinners at the ryokan would be served in a traditional setting dependent on the inn. Boiled rice, sashimi and soups would be on the menu, and it is expected to use chopsticks. The meals are more in keeping with the culture, so I would recommend that you know the proper mannerisms. As the guests travel along the 3,000-kilometre route, at every stop, the guests are treated like royalty. Local people flock to the stations to see the 7-star train and welcome the guests. Performers will line the route, putting on elaborate shows and displays. So this may be the train for you, but getting on this train isn't as easy as one may think. The price to get on board is actually not too bad compared to other luxury trains. A 4-night stay for 2 can reach upwards of £11,000 each in the largest end cabin. But the railway has very tight restrictions on who can board. Strictly, this is a no children or teenager zone, and sadly, it's also a no single occupancy either. You must be in smart casual clothes at all times. With the demand for tickets so high, the only way to purchase one is through the website. The website works on a lottery system and picks 28 passengers at random from those that have paid, so there's no guarantee of getting a space. The 7-star railway is definitely up there with the most elite of luxury trains, but it sets itself apart with its deep heritage and traditions. Every stop along the way, it honours the local history and of course its people. If you have a chance, definitely go. It is a stunning area in a beautiful country surrounded by amazing people and thousands of years of culture. The Japanese wanted a train to rival the Orient Express, and the 7-star train might be small, but it's definitely a mighty contender.